So, our speaker number 3 then is Debbie Ault, and Debbie runs the Notts Derby Wine School. So basically, Debbie's background is over 20 years in the hospitality and training industry, and in 2014, with her passion for wine, she started up Notts Derby Wine School, offering a calendar of tastings for both beginners and wine enthusiasts. And this is through privately run and corporate events, as well as running courses for the WSET wine qualifications, which are now available online, I believe. So I'm sure that you're going to be telling us a bit more about that. My husband has actually taken part in one of your courses and got his level 2 qualification, which he's very proud of. And Debbie is also a member of RSViP. And yeah, your events are fab. I've already attended one of your Prosecco tastings before, so I can't wait to get back to them. And I know you've been taking a lot online recently, haven't you? So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so my business is basically fun wine tasting. So it's not all kind of serious and boring and bow ties and things like that. It's very casual, very kind of relaxed, fun wine tasting. So I used to do the wine tastings in different venues. So I kind of work from home. It's a one-man band, so it's me, myself, and I. So I kind of get the wines from local retailers. So I use places like Majestic and Weavers and Gauntley's, so all very much local places to get the wines from. And the whole point is that we don't sell wine, so other people can, if they like a wine, they can go and buy the wine themselves. So it's not about me kind of forcing wine on people that I've been sponsored to use or anything like that. So yeah, so the business was, you know, me setting up a full calendar of events, including qualifications. So the WSET, as Fiona mentioned, is the Wine and Spirit Education Trust, which is essentially the industry qualifications for wine. So I teach those levels 1, 2, and 3. So Tim's got his level 2, and he's also been on various courses and tastings and things. So yes, that's the business that I do. So it is very much all about wine. I do gin and whiskey and rum tastings and all the good stuff, basically. But of course, when you know, the coronavirus hit, it was very much, ooh, what am I going to do now? Because my tastings are all face to face. You know, I get involved in festivals, so I do the Woollerton Food Drink Festival in August, all sorts of things, corporate, private events, and that is, you know, just kind of ground to a complete and utter halt, like everybody else, really. Let's be honest. So for me, and partly for my own sanity as much as anything else, because we kind of knew we were going to be in lockdown soon. So I did the kind of things like going to home base and getting some wallpaper and paint and stuff like that, because that was going to be a chore that I could then kind of plan in at some point. So I kind of preempted various things to keep myself busy. But from a business point of view, it was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I literally just went onto I have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter with the wine school. And I just went on there and said, right, we're going to do a fun wine tasting on Facebook Live on Friday. I think this was like literally the week that we were put into lockdown. And I said, it's going to be 8 o'clock till kind of 9 o'clock-ish. And it's just grab whatever you're drinking and we'll just talk about wine, and I'll tell you how to, you know, I'll just show you how to drink wine and taste wine properly, and we'll have a laugh. And, you know, and so many people joined in. It was amazing, the amount of people that joined in. And it was just, I think everyone was in that shock mode. And for me, it was very much about, okay, we've all just been thrown for the lions here. And it's like, well, okay, let's just see what I can do with my customer base to kind of go, okay, let's just do something rather than nothing. And it's kind of progressed from there. So everything I do at the moment is online. So I do, on Friday nights, I do a free wine tasting, which is done via Facebook Live. I tell people what wines they need to have in advance. I tell people what cheeses to in advance. And one of the key things I've done is worked with all my local retailers. So I work with the wine room. So I'm also a director of the wine room. So I work with the wine room quite closely, and I make Peter give me wine. And then there's also Bridget Bordeaux, there's Weavers, there's Gauntley. So I've worked with them. So obviously they're in the same situation as independent retailers. And to be fair, they're all absolutely rammed. They are absolutely, I don't think they've ever been so busy. Because, you know, the first few weeks, everyone was like, oh my God, there's no wine in the supermarkets. So everyone was looking for alternative, you know, wine sources. So those guys are really busy, but bless them, they kind of like, here's a case of wine. So I was then putting those out to people saying, right, you can buy this case of wine from these guys. That will cover you for the next however many weeks. So that's essentially what we do. So Friday nights is a free wine tasting via Facebook Live. And then the Wednesday nights, I was also doing free, But then from a business point of view, I was kind of like, well, I can't just keep doing free stuff because it still costs me money. Zoom costs me money to, pay for the Zoom. The cheeses that I buy cost me money, and so there is a cost to me and my time, etc. So the Wednesday nights now has changed to a paid for event. And even the Friday nights, and maybe the Wednesday's free, I kind of said to people, there's like a donation page on our website. So if you want to join in and you're enjoying yourselves, if you want to chuck me, there's like a £5 donation. And people are doing that on a regular basis. So that's kind of how I adapted. I adapted fairly quickly from that point of view. So I'm doing something. And it's like I said, for me, it was very much more for my mental health, if I'm honest. It was more for my mental health than anything else, because I'm on my own here. So I literally have been on my own for however many weeks I've been on lockdown for. So it's very, it can be difficult. And so the fact that I have to get up and put random posts on and all that kind of stuff, it kind of keeps me busy, really. And then I do these tastings on a Wednesday and Friday. So I'm working with a cheese shop as well. They're sourcing, cheeses for summer tasting. So I'm very much trying to keep it trying to keep local, independent retailers as well kind of involved in what I'm doing. And then, with my customer base. And my customer base has expanded. So my Instagram followers, my Twitter followers, my Facebook followers, it's just expanded over the last few weeks, definitely.
So Debbie, how does it work, Debbie? So you tell people what cheeses to buy, and then give them links to the people that you're sourcing this from. That's how it works. And then I go and buy that, and then I have it ready for when you come on screen. Is that how it works?
Yeah. So essentially, where I am right now, I'm actually squatting on a poof. Excuse me. I'm on a poof on a low table in my lounge. So this is the view that they will get, slightly wider, bigger view than this, but this is the view that they will get. So I'll have, for example, I will have the wines, so the 2 wines, and then this, by the way, this is a top tip for everybody. The aperitif of the future is Pom Bears.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that.
So if you're having a little pre-drinkies before dinner, Pom Bear and a glass of wine is the way forward. So yeah, so on the website, on all the social media. For example, tomorrow night, begrudgingly, we're doing a rosé tasting. Now, of all the wine and all the world, yeah, yeah, exactly. Of all the wine in all the world, I cannot bear rosé. However, because people love it, I'm going to take one for the team tomorrow. So we're having 3 rosés. So we've got a Provence rosé, we've got a Portuguese rosé, and just for comedy value, we've got a white Zinfandel as well. So we're going to.
Did I not know about this?
I don't know. I can't do anything on social media that I'm doing. So yeah, so we're doing 3 wines tomorrow night. What I tend to do is kind of 8. It starts at 8 o'clock. So the Fridays have kind of grown into their own thing because the Fridays are still free. So we normally start at 8 o'clock. We normally just have 2 wines. So I'll tell people in advance what wines they get. If they can't get the exact wines or don't want to buy the case, that's fine. It's all stuff you can get, at New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. It's all stuff that you can get in supermarkets and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so tomorrow night is very much about rosé. We're going to start at 7:30 sometimes because I do what I call cookery nook, where we'll do like a pre-cook beforehand. So I actually did. Was it the one that you're on, Fiona, where I did the fish and chips beforehand?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, so we did fish and chips. So I was cooking fish and chips beforehand, and then we had I think we had prosecco and we had champagne actually on that one.
Oh, well, again, why did I not know about this one?
I know, you just look at Fiona, that's the problem. So yeah, so it's, and then the Friday night as well, we've got a quiz going on in there as well. So it's just stuff. Initially, it was just about people can't go out, they can't do stuff. I'll do something, and then after a few weeks, the Friday nights got a bit more debauched. And from a business point of view, I made the decision that maybe I should kind of maybe not let it be so debauched. So we then I split it into what's now called Auntie Debbie Wine. You got Knox Derby Wine School, which is where all the formal tastings are concerned. Have I lost that many viewers, Fiona, in that amount of time? Because I said,
it may come back.
I said rosé, and they all went on Sunday. So they just went straight.
It's because it's just gone 7, so some people will just tune in for an hour. That's all. Don't take it personally.
No offense. But yeah, so I can't know what I was going to say. Oh yeah, so the Friday nights then it got very debauched, and the quiz gets quite raucous. So I kind of split it really. So I was doing lots of daft videos and things as well as soon as the lockdown kind of started, and that was more for me than anything else. And then it kind of forced me to kind of do it on a regular basis rather than sitting at home getting a bit kind of sorry for myself that I'm on my own and there's nothing happening and blah blah blah.
Well, I mean, I've taken part in a few of them now, and I've got to say they are fantastic. You know, your sense of humour and the way that you host them is brilliant, very natural. And you know, I wondered when you said I'm going to take my wine tastings online, how on earth you were going to go about doing it. And I think a lot of people would wonder the same, but you've really hit the nail on the head with it, I think. And I've actually, don't know about anybody else, never seen a wine tasting event taking place online before. But I think the format in which you do it is fantastic. I think the fact that you've collaborated with various different suppliers to be able to package it up essentially for people to make it as easy as possible to get the wines in with the cheeses, again supporting locals and independents.
Yeah.
And it's entertainment, and I think a lot of people have needed this at the moment, haven't they?
Definitely, and that's what the Friday is. The Friday nights are really busy still, and it is. Some people like it's our thing to do on a Friday night because they can't go out, they can't do anything else. So it'd be interesting to see moving forward how that develops. I mean, I know as a business that there will now, moving forward, always be an online presence. Like I say, we're doing the qualifications, so level 1 and level 2 qualifications. And I think although I will do face-to-face, there will be some online presence that will continue after all of this.
So what you're finding then is that COVID-19 has actually inspired you to do this, but you'll probably continue elements of it anyway going forward.
Definitely. I don't think, especially for my business, I don't think we can just then, like, you know, in 6 months' time go, okay, well, now we're just going to go back to normal. I don't think you can. People won't accept it. No. And I don't want to do it. It's quite comfortable for me to sit here and jabber on about wine and bore people to tears about it and lose half your audience in 20 seconds.
It's the nature of Zoom, unfortunately.
It is. Even more now. Oh my God, I'm not looking at it. But yeah, so the newsletter, the WST would.
So, Debbie.
I think what it is, you put them all in the mood for wine, Debbie. They've all gone through.
I think you're right there, Mark.
Yeah. I'll take.
One's gone to the fridge.
I'll take that as a win.
So, have we got any questions then? So, I think you've given a really good overview of your sort of pre-lockdown and what you're up to now. Has anybody got any questions for Debbie at all?
So I'm looking at, I can't see any obvious ones on there right now. I guess I'd say to Debbie, it's an interesting point that you made about mental health, and I think that's quite brave of you to say that. I think it's great that you've said that. Like, how do you find like interacting like just totally like this? Does it plug the gap a little bit? Have you found? Because I found it really helpful, like you, but I've got family, so it's not, I'm in a different situation, but like I definitely think it's really a really positive thing. So you mentioned you did it because of that. Have you found that that's helped to get you through?
It has, because initially I started doing just these daft videos. I went to Tesco's and there was no tea bag, so I just did a daft, just a stupid video, and I called them daft videos. And initially they were going through the Notts Derby Wine School Instagram and Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. And then when I did the Auntie Debbie, because I ended up doing this stupid character called Auntie Debbie, going, hello, it's Auntie Debbie here, my little chickadoodles. Do you know what I mean? And just being stupid, just having this alter ego character, which is what Auntie Debbie wine is, really. So although I'll talk about it in the third person, it's me being a twat, really. And that's essentially what I'm doing on those. So those videos more than anything else, because once I started doing it and people started going, oh my God, that's funny, that's made me laugh in this times, it's really good to get like just a 1 minute of something funny. That kind of encouraged me to do it more and more. And the last kind of 18 months, 2 years has been really hard. I was involved in the bar when we started working in the bar, and I was working 60, 70 hours a week and then doing the wine school as well. Do you know what I mean? So it was really, really hard, and I suffered quite a lot. And then I made the decision sort of in January to concentrate on the wine school, and because a business partner's looking after the bar, which of course is just sitting there dormant at the minute. But I was going to, that was the whole thing. This year I was going to concentrate on the wine school and really kind of push the wine school forward. And then this happened, and I was like, oh Christ. But if I'm honest, I really needed this time. And it sounds like a frightful thing to say, but this actually, for me personally, the timing of it has worked for me very nicely. Don't get me wrong. I don't, you know, I'm just saying that from my point of view. It's helped me an awful lot. And the fact that I've done these little random videos and tried to keep myself going. And, you know, if I don't post stuff out now, people are going, oh, are you okay? And you know, and that's not, and people I don't really know. I saw somebody in town today. I went to pick up some cheese from the cheese shop, and there was somebody else picking up cheese as well. And I'm just there going to pick up cheese, and this one just goes, "Hi Debbie, how are you?" And I was like,
"You're famous."
I was like, "Oh hello."
Well, I think it's wonderful because what it shows is, I think there's been two types of people, or maybe this is an oversimplification. Some people have just kind of been furloughed, stuck their head in the sand, kind of kind of gone behind the closed doors, and other people like yourself have been brave and kind of gone out and put themselves out there a little bit. And it's great to hear that the social media exposure has been growing, and it's great to hear of these stories because I think there are great rewards. And I would say to anyone on the call, this just, I mean, take it or leave it, but you know, get out there, put yourself out there a little bit, get known in your category, because at least people are aware of you. Whereas if you go underground, who are you? No one, you know, you've got to start again.
If nothing else, I'm keeping in contact with my customer base. I mean, I have a newsletter as well that goes out to however many people, you know, and I put stuff on there and advertising, you know. But at the end of the day, some people just don't do social media, and I really respect that actually, because sometimes I'm just like, but then that's fine. But it's me keeping in contact with my customers, which is the main thing. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people, most people like wine, so it's an easy win from that kind of point of view. And just watching me get drunk on a Friday night doing a stupid voices in a quiz. We have a round in the quiz called lyrics in the style of overacted Shakespeare. I'm not going to say more.
Genius.
Right, okay, so you need to put on the comments how people can get hold of you or to find you at some point, Debbie, if you can, for those of you who are interested in Debbie's wine tastings. I'm sure many of us are.
On the call, you mean?
See, this is what she's like, but then times that by 10 when she's had a bottle of wine.